Hi, daily check-in. I'm not sure why I go hi. Anyway, hello, daily check-in. Daily check-in. Um, my eyes look sort of puffy. My eyes feel really, yeah, they feel a bit strange today. They feel a bit strange. A bit itchy and just, yeah, a bit strange. Holy Benoli, did I have an interesting session last night? Um, it's interesting how when something big is coming, part of you is like, well, I don't want to get involved in this. And another part is like, so I thought I'd booked, a session with my friend within, her coaching program. And I thought that I'd booked it. And then half an hour until it was meant to be, I suddenly thought, hold on a minute, I don't think I've got an email like confirmation. And that's strange because I received email confirmation from the first one that I booked. Confirmation as I'd done it and confirmation that it like half an hour to go. I didn't receive any of that. Did I book it? I don't know. And then I'm trying to go back in and trying to figure out if I had booked it, but I couldn't figure it out. And then so I messaged my friend, and I was like, "Have we got a session? Because I think I booked it, but I'm not sure if I did. I don't think maybe I didn't do it right." And I was starting to like, and then I was like, "Oh, maybe I don't need it tonight. Maybe I'll just try and book another session another time, and I won't do it." And so for the half an hour between when I was meant to have it, when I thought I was meant to have it, and when I thought that I was having it, for that half an hour, there's all this stuff going on. And so, I messaged my friend. She's like, I haven't got anything in my calendar from you, but I'm free. So why don't we just do it at that time anyway? And so I was like, okay. And then I was thinking, I've completely fucked this up. And there was a lot of, I was really down on myself. And, how can I not book? How can I not have done this properly? And this is ridiculous. And then with a minute to go, I went to connect. I went to jump online, and I couldn't find the link. Could not for the life of me find the link as to where to go, to how. And I was thinking, how did I do this last time? I wouldn't have deleted it, the message. Could not find it. And so my friend's like, same link as last time. I'm like, I can't find the link. And so she just shut it through, jumped online, and I was like, and I've noticed that's what happens sometimes, especially when you're working with someone in that sort of situation. It's like the pre stuff. Part of you is like, I feel something big is coming, and it's not a conscious thing. I didn't consciously not like pretend to book myself into the session. I thought I'd booked myself in. And yet I had not. I thought that I had the link. I did not. I thought that I, was doing all the things. I did not. And then so I got in the session, and I was like, so the first half an hour, I was literally just like, this is what's happened since last time, which I've shared with you all, devotion to the impossible, and kind of going through my book, and talking about all the things that sort of happened since last time. And my friend really got it this time. Not that she didn't last time, but probably a deeper, as we talk about with the different layers of energy, got it at a deeper level this time. And so and I think with coaching, like, it doesn't matter if you don't get where the person is coming from. It's still that taking them, witnessing them where they're at, even if that doesn't make any sense, and supporting them to move forward. And that's what my friend did exceptionally well. She really articulated my process and utilizing the world around me, feeling the world around me, feeling the energy that's around me to and utilizing that as, these are not her words, these are my butchered words, feeling the energy around me and using that to support my next steps and my realizations, and feeling the energy in and around me to to move forward and to get closer to where I'm hoping to get to, closer to my closer to my transmutation. Anyway, and so she was like, excuse me, I've just had a donut with my child because my child is home again. She's never home for 5 days. This is her fifth day home from school. This never happens. Like, it's generally a couple days back. And today was probably a do we, don't we, either way is fine. Like, either way, if you were at school, you'd be able to function. If you're, anyway, and so, my friend articulated that process in a really awesome way. And then asked me some questions, and I was like, okay, so, that's part of it. That's part of my process. The other part, which is interesting, is the connection with my ultimate field of potentials. And I was thinking, have I spoken about this on my YouTube? I can't remember. If I have, well, doesn't matter because you may not have seen that video. I have a lot of videos. So I believe that we each have our own field of ultimate potentials. And so at the moment, we're all under the unified field, the unified field. And that is why, we're all one, we're all just going to come in. We're all one, and like, we're all moving and shifting and changing and coming to that realization that we are all one. I am you, you are me, we are all one. The earth, like, I am the earth is me. I am the universe is me. Like, we're all one within the unified field. And so once we get to that understanding, then we're able to move on. It's not really that. It's just easier for sake of video. Once we get to that understanding that we are all one within the unified field, then we are able to move on to something different, which is that we each have our own specific field that is specific to us, that holds all of our juicy goodness, all of our ultimate potentials. And so I'm not talking about potentials. So, like, now people go, what do you want? And someone, like a very good friend of mine, asked me that the other day, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know, because I'm not connected to my ultimate field of potentials yet. And that field dictates all my options that I then get to choose from. And so, I could say what I want, but is it aligned with my soul? Probably not. Is it aligned with my physical density? Maybe. I don't know. Probably more so that than my soul, right? Is it aligned with my amalgamation of those two bits? Nah. And so I might go, okay, I want to be like Joe Dispenza or Peter Crone, for example, or Gabby Bernstein. And I want to be that. So I want to be able to, I don't know what she's doing. I want to be able to, take my teachings and learnings and all of the things that I am to share that and teach other people. But, and maybe if I just stayed as a, dense person, as in not dense, like a dense human, that might have been an ultimate potential. But because I'm changing, I don't know if this makes any sense, but because I'm changing to be the amalgamation, and to be that of I know it's not going to make any sense. Anyway, keep going anyway. Because I'm changing to be aligned with my ultimate field of potentials, that's not enough for me. Like, that's not an ultimate potential. An ultimate potential for me now is something that doesn't exist yet, and that is completely impossible. And so I think I have talked about this before. Like, if we think about like Joe Dispenza and his journey from breaking his back, I think it was, and going through his process of being able to walk and so, like, that at that stage, especially, even now really, is an impossible future for him, or was an impossible future for him, and yet he overcame impossible to make it happen. And I think what I'm looking to do with my field of ultimate potentials is not necessarily just overcome and that sounds terrible, take something that is completely impossible and make it a reality here. And so that's what I was talking about with my friend, that like, I feel like in every moment we will have, you look online sometimes, and I do follow couple of people, maybe 3 or 4, or like Trini, I always forget her last name. Trini London. Look up Trini London, you'll find her. And she has this mega closet of clothes, like a mega closet. And she takes people through, trying on different things. And does this look good with this? Oh, actually, I don't like that bit. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And so it's like this, for her, it's this big process. and like a loving process that she, I think, has brought people in to then buy her, like love her and buy her skincare, which I don't know, it seems pretty good. Not that I've tried it at all. So what I'm getting at is that so we will have that sort of thing available to us, as in like not just a physical wardrobe of all this stuff, but like, anyway, where am I getting at? Let's just leave that. Let's just park that to the side, and come back to it at a later date. So was talking to my friend about all of this, and how we get to choose who we are within each moment. So we get the choice of that. We choose. And so she was like, okay, shall we do a meditation with all that? And I was like, yes, sure. Okay, let's do that. Started to do this meditation, and it's the most profound meditation I've ever done. Most profound meditation I've ever done. And I've done some profound meditations. And so I was, during the connection with the earth sort of section, I was like wrapped. It wasn't just like connections, like a connection with the earth. It was like I was full wrapped in I don't know, trees and plants and vines, and things. I was all like completely wrapped in vines and stuff. And then I was aware that my heart was connecting with the heart of the universe. Like our hearts were connected. And that situation was holding me. So I was being held by the earth as well as held by the universe. And then there were divine beings of light, which I've kind of worked with before a little bit. And so they were kind of doing things with me, these divine beings of light. And then I was aware that, I don't know, it was like energy, like I was traveling through energy. And it was like this sort of energy sort of stuff, like sort of going like that in front of my face, but I was traveling through this energy. And then my friend said something about, maybe I should say my coach, my friend and coach. And my coach said, like, can you picture your ultimate field of potentials? And I was like, oh, it's in my head, or not in my head, but in the meditation, it was like, it's always been here. Like it's always here. I just haven't been aware of it. So it's not something I have to like go, like reach out to and bring here. It's always been here. It's always here. It is always here and has always been here. And so that was cool. And then it was about kind of, I think my coach said something about like what are some of the potentials that are available, or something along those lines. And then so I was walking along a beach, like I saw this beach, and then suddenly I sort of walked into the water and became a dolphin. And it wasn't like my whole, like I turned into a dolphin, like shapeshifted into a dolphin. It was like I was still kind of me, but in, I don't know, in the shape of a dolphin. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, made sense in my meditation. And so I was like swimming through the water as this dolphin swimming. And then I've kind of jumped out of the water and become a bird and was like flying over the sea, like over the sea. And then I've become a dolphin, like, and then I've sort of gone back into the water and become a dolphin, like going along like this. And then I've sort of come to another beach and come out of the water, and I was a man walking along the beach. And then suddenly I was able to just maybe not click my fingers, but I was in a different location. I was aware, I was just able to move or shift from from where I was to a vastly different location somewhere else in the world. Just like that. Um and then I came to, and so it was like, yeah, so these not were all the options, but like these were some of the options that were available to me within my ultimate field. And so then I think my coach must have said something about, what is kind of standing in your way or something along those lines. And I suddenly saw these two, like, really smooth, um, sort of mountains. And there was like one here and then one here, and they were both like connected, like very, very closely together. Maybe not full connected, but they were very, very close. There was like this smallest of thinnest gaps between these two mountains. And it was like I was aware that I needed to get through. And so I was standing at the entrance of this, and and I was like just changing shape into all the different animals that I could think of, into all these different energetic forms, to try and figure out how I could, like, get through this passage. And I was like changing into this and changing, like it was like quick. So it was like change, changing into all these different animals, and like ants and butterflies and all these, like, all sorts of different shapes and sizes of animals. And none of them were right to fit. And then I remembered, and earlier on in the meditation, I'd heard, like, the sphere is really important, and I needed to take the sphere with, like, from this meditation because it was really important. And so as I was like clicking through all these different animals, like changing shape into all these different animals, I was suddenly like, oh, the sphere is important. Maybe I can change into the sphere. And so I energetically changed into the sphere and then was able to move through these two mountains. And then once I got onto the other side, like, oh my God. Oh my God. And because up until then, like, I'd been able to feel this really strong energy in my legs, like at times in my legs. And at other times, it felt like the energy was kind of squeezing me, like in a hug sort of thing, like squeezing like that, but in a, not in a, not in an uncomfortable way. I just felt sort of being squeezed a bit. And then it looks like it's rainbow weather out there. We've got like, it's rainbow weather. And then, so when I got to the other side, when I'm this sphere and I get to the other side of the mountains, and my body just started to twitch. And I don't mean like, twitch like that. I mean like internally, it was like every part of me was twitching and changing and like doing like that. It was like all at once, and I started to freak out. As in the meditation, I started to freak out. And it was like, what in the hell is happening? I don't understand what's going on. What is going on? I don't understand. And I was freaking out. And then I heard like, it's okay, like stay calm. This is like, we've been working towards this for a really long time. Um, it's okay, you're safe. It's okay. And so I was like, okay, I'm still feeling really freaked out, but I'll go with the process. And so my body was just internally twitching, and just like all this stuff was going on. Like I could feel it physically. Like this was not some energetic, not just some energetic thing that was going on. And so I'm like visualizing myself here, and this is all twitching, within this energetic thing, image of, this was like my body was full twitching internally. I could feel it. I could physically feel it going crazy, going absolutely nuts. And then my coach was like, okay, because she couldn't see what was going on, it's all going on internally. She was like, and she was conscious of the time because I'm a mum and it's like 8 o'clock and I need to get children into bed. At the same time, I'm in the middle of this connection with my ultimate field. Insane. And so she's like, okay, why don't you make your way back and start to feel your body? And I was like, I actually can't right now. And she's like, okay, no worries. All is well. No worry. I mean, I wasn't able to say, I don't think, like what was going on. Or maybe I did. I don't know. But I do remember very much being like, I can't right now. I just need to stay here for a moment. And I had no idea when it was going to end. I wasn't sure it was going to end. And I was sort of probably in that for another couple of minutes. And then I yawned and then started laughing. And then I was out. And I was like, what in the truck just happened? Oh my God. Like that was insane and intense and all the things. And so I sort of had said a little bit to my coach afterwards about it, but I mean, yeah, there were parts where she was like, tell me what's going on. And so it was interesting because there were many parts. There were many interesting parts, but uh, I was aware even just during the talking phase at the start when I was telling her all the things. It felt like I was in a, I don't know, in a container, within an energy. It wasn't just like a normal session where you're sitting there chatting away and da da da. Like it was very much, I wasn't in a trance per se, like unable to verbalize, but it was a trance of sorts that I felt like the whole session was, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But then, yeah, and then like I got off the call and it's like, back to parent life, right? I felt like I couldn't drink enough water. I was like, blah, blah. I needed to eat. So I ate some chocolate. Um, and yeah, and then I come back and my family are watching soccer. Um, just sitting there or lying in bed watching soccer together, which was really lovely. Um, and yeah, it was just such a full on. It was so full on. And then last night I had this dream that I was making clay. Like I was at school and I was making I don't know if it was a competition, but we each had our own sort of thing that we needed to make. And I thought mine was pretty cool, and I was sort of, I don't know what it was exactly, maybe like I don't know, a beanbag person. That's the best way that I can describe it. But, and I wanted it to kind of sit up, but it had arms and legs, and I don't think I got to the face sort of part. But yeah, and I remember like really vividly like feeling the clay between my hands, and I didn't even have to mush it that much anyway, which is weird with clay. And I thought mine was pretty good. And then I saw someone else's, and theirs was like, and everyone else, I just remembered, everyone else seemed to have pre-cooked theirs or cooked theirs before, cooked, put theirs in the kiln before, or like during the process. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Excuse me, I'm not doing that. I'm just working with it. I'll put mine in the kiln later, but I'm just working with it like soft for a while. And then this girl showed me hers, and it was like this big, long, like a lizard, really awesome lizard. And then in the middle, there was something that she could sort of take out, and I'm not sure what that bit was, but it was like, oh my God, you've got moving parts and all sorts of things. I thought mine was going to win, but no, yours is exceptional. But I thought mine was like second best after seeing hers. Yeah. And then I woke up and still had lots of energy. And sometimes the energy is really full on and intense, and I feel like I have to move. But this was, I'll be 2 minutes. Um, but then this was, I was happy just lying in it. Happy just lying in it. And so yeah, that was my meditation last night. That was my coaching session. Holy Benoli. Holy Benolis. Yeah. And so from the last two coaching sessions, the first one I received an I, the next one I received the sphere. And so I'm interested to see what is next. Yeah. Holy Benoli. And then even afterwards, my coach was asking me, like, do you, because we were talking prior to that about how I don't feel like feel like I'm working through my belief systems. I feel like I'm working through the limitations of the world, of the collective, and what is possible and what's not, what reality is and what's not, etc. And yeah, afterwards my coach said, do you feel that that's a thing still? Do you feel that that's there? And I was like, well, no, because I feel I'm on the other side. I've like passed through the mountains. Like that's huge. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what, and yesterday was the new moon. Of course I had, like, of course I couldn't have a session on Saturday, and it had to be changed to another day, and fucked it up, and still got to have a session on Tuesday, which was the new moon. Like, of course. So yeah, the stuff I have to do today, but I just want to kind of sit in bed, really, and drink water and eat a donut. Although I've eaten a donut already. Um. So yeah. Uh huh. That is. That's where I'm at.